In early 2017, the Board of Directors of Hideaway Lake Club Incorporated voted to form a strategic planning committee as a means to better understand and serve the community they were elected to represent. The committee began to take shape shortly thereafter and was chaired by Jim Karras, co-chaired by Ron Strickland, with board member John Baggart as director. More than 50 Hideaway residents served on the committee, with countless more providing research and information via one-on-one interviews and focus groups.
Well, when the strategic plan started off, we recognized that too many times organizations are driven by a vocal few, and we wanted to make sure that we had representation from all members of Hideaway. And so looking at over the next 10 years, we tried to decide how is the best to get that information. So one of the things that we did, we sent out electronic surveys, we sent out paper surveys, we had focus groups with various members within the Hideaway community. We did individual interviews with the staff and the maintenance groups, with the general manager. We even went out and interviewed the city of Lindale to see what their growth was going to be and their projections for the next 10 years. And then we even talked to the realtors because we wanted to get an overall view of everything that was going to affect Hideaway in the next 10 years. And by doing that, we accumulated a massive amount of information and then took that information, broke it down into various groups, various committees, and then started researching exactly what the membership wanted over the next 10 years.
The committee's request for information received a large response from the community, and an extensive effort went into collecting the information and extracting useful data.
All right, well, you know, the first responses that we got back ended up actually causing us to have more questions than we started out with, so that meant more meetings, and it meant more analysis.
As the data from the surveys and focus groups continued to pour in, others on the committee worked to ensure that a sound financial platform would be in place to accomplish any goals that the residents of Hideaway wanted to achieve.
We identified 6 strategic initiatives, and those strategic initiatives were time-phased over the 10 years based on their immediate priority, as well as what would fit best into a cash flow plan that did not put undue stress on the members. We wanted to minimize any future dues increases and assessments. We wanted to have Hideaway end up in a better financial position than it is today, even though we would have addressed a range of strategic initiatives that reflect both the normal capital expenditures that are needed, as well as major initiatives that came out of member input as well as management and board input. We wanted to do things that would enhance the long-term property value of Hideaway. We wanted to increase the members' equity position in the club, and we wanted to assure that we did that without increasing bank debt beyond the levels at which it is today.
As part of the process, a vast Excel spreadsheet was created that would allow almost any proposal to be previewed, with data projected out over an extended period.
We developed a 10-year financial planning model that could be used by both the board and management to continue to assure the development of Hideaway on an ongoing basis and on a prudent basis.
The main thing to know is we all know that plans are meant to be changed. There's no way what we think is going to happen the next 10 years is going to be what the next 10 years will be. So this tool that Phil built has allowed us to take out a project and insert another project and then tell us where we are financially as the plan goes. A misnomer has been that the strategic plan that was built was final, had to be done this way, very strict. It's not that at all. We are easily able to manipulate this spreadsheet that was done, and it just allows us to be better prepared for the future and make sure we have the funds allocated for projects we want to do. It's going to continue to grow each year, and every year when I do the budget, this will be the first tool I will look at. And I can guarantee you, I gave them the 10-year plan. I can already tell you I've taken things out of that plan and changed some of them. And it's been very easy. It's not going to be a problem in the future to change things. It's just going to make us a better prepared company. And that's what we are now. We're a very large company, so we have to be prepared like one.
The first of the 6 initiatives included projects for the lodge area and the lakes, along with some interim road work. For many, the condition of the lodge was a major concern.
Yeah, originally, most of us felt like that the lodge was structurally inadequate. And we happened to have a man on our committee who had worked for the U.S. government, and his job was analyzing building structures. And he did a thorough analysis of this lodge and found out that it truly was sound. It just needed some shoring up of some of the columns that are supporting this back side of the lodge. And otherwise, it was a very sound building.
In addition to these shorter-term initiatives, the plan also features longer-term projects, which include such items as a complete resurfacing of all roads, upgrades to the golf amenity, and a refurbishment of the club pool.
We had a lot of young people on our committee with families, and they gave us a lot of good insight into what could be done in the area of the beach and the pool. This pool is approximately 50 years old, and most concrete pools don't last that long. We've utilized a vinyl liner in this pool for the last couple of years to extend the life of the pool. They've already done some extensive piping and reinforcing of the decks up there to make it safe, and the pool still has some good life in it. It's just a matter of how much.
You know, our members are who the strategic plan wanted to represent. At the same time, we worked quite closely with our club management. For example, with the golf course, our management team at the golf course identified some of the improvements that would require some funding in the out years. And we identified those, we priced those, we put them into the plan, and they're there in the later years. As regarding the roads, we quickly went back and looked at our past road development project. We identified from that project and learned from that project. We've identified with our members through surveys, through focus groups, the need for road improvements. And we found that within our 10-year window, the roads were going to have to be resurfaced. So the funding for those roads and the planning for those roads is in the strategic plan.
The strategic plan and the financial model were both developed to be flexible. Future boards and management can adjust items as necessary and as future events may require. The plan itself, however, stages strategic initiatives so that cash requirements and financing requirements are minimized to avoid stress on the members. Finally, the plan itself projects that Hideaway will end up in a better financial position at the end of the 10 years than it is today, with stronger resources, less debt, and more cash.
The strategic plan was a major effort with input from the entire community that gives us that 10-year outlook that every community needs. And we are very fortunate to be one of the few communities that actually has a 10-year plan with forward-thinking leaders.
Again, this just allows us to make sure the dollars that are needed will be there when we need them.
The Hideaway Strategic Plan is a public document and is available on the members' website. Go to News and Information, drop down to Documents, and then down to the Strategic Plan. It will download as a PDF.
This is quite an achievement, and all of the credit goes to, number one, our members for participating, and number two, our volunteers on the strategic planning team for making it all happen.